I had emergency brain surgery. My parents couldn't be bothered to visit. My sister posted finally a calm holiday. 3 days later, Dad texted frantically, "Son, we need a cosigner now." I gave him silence. The surgeon told me I had a blood clot the size of a marble pressing against my temporal lobe. They found it after I collapsed at work and started seizing in front of my entire department. I woke up in the ICU with half my head shaved and 18 staples holding my skull together. The nurse asked if she should call anyone, and I gave her my parents' numbers because that's what sons do when they almost die. They never picked up. My emergency contact form sat on the bedside table with 2 phone numbers circled in red and the word attempted written next to both of them 5 separate times. I spent 8 days recovering in that hospital room staring at the same ceiling tiles. My coworker Diane visited twice. My neighbor brought flowers. My college roommate drove 4 hours just to sit with me for an afternoon. But my family stayed silent. I told myself they were busy. I told myself maybe they didn't get the messages. I told myself anything that would make this hurt less. On day 3, I finally checked my sister's Instagram because I needed to see proof they were alive. Her most recent post destroyed every excuse I'd built. A photo of my entire family around a Christmas tree. Mom holding champagne. Dad carving a ham. My sister's caption read, "Finally a calm holiday without the chaos. Best Christmas in years." Posted the same day as my surgery. I screenshot that post and sent it to my best friend with no caption. He called immediately asking if this was real. I told him I was looking at it from a hospital bed with drainage tubes in my skull. He went quiet for a long time. The thing about proof is, it removes the ability to pretend. That screenshot burned away every rationalization I'd been building. They knew I was in the hospital. The nurses confirmed they'd left voicemails. My parents chose a calm holiday over their son's life. My sister celebrated my absence like I was the problem that had finally been solved. 3 days after my discharge, my phone lit up with 15 texts from my father. The first one said, "Son, call me immediately. It's urgent." The second said, "We need to talk about the business loan." By the 5th text, he'd dropped the pretense entirely. "I need a cosigner. The bank won't approve without someone with your credit score. Please call me back." I sat in my apartment with fresh surgical scars and read those messages over and over. Not a single word about my surgery. Not one question about my recovery. Not even a basic acknowledgement that I'd been in the hospital at all. Just demands wrapped in desperation. I called my mother because I needed to hear her explain this. She answered on the first ring, already talking before I could say hello. She said, "Your father needs this loan or we lose everything." She said, "You're the only one who can help." She said, "Family comes first and we need to stick together." I asked her why she didn't visit me in the hospital. Dead silence. I asked her why she didn't return a single phone call while I was recovering from brain surgery. More silence. I asked her if she saw my sister's Instagram post about having a calm holiday without me. She stammered something about how I always made things difficult. She said I was too sensitive. She said I was being dramatic about a simple medical procedure. Simple medical procedure. I almost laughed. They cut open my skull and removed a clot that could have killed me in seconds if it had ruptured. I spent over a week unable to walk without assistance. I have permanent memory gaps from the pressure on my brain, and my mother called it dramatic. I told her I had the screenshot from my sister's post. I told her I had the hospital records showing 5 attempted calls to both emergency contacts. I told her I had documentation proving they chose champagne and ham over their son's survival. She started crying and asking why I was attacking her during such a stressful time. I hung up without another word. My father's texts continued for 2 weeks. They escalated from requests to demands to threats. He said if I didn't help, he would tell everyone I abandoned my family. He said he would make sure I never saw any of them again. He said I owed them for everything they'd done for me growing up. I saved every single message in a folder labeled evidence and never responded to any of them. My sister called once, crying, asking why I was being so cruel during their crisis. I sent her the screenshot of her own Christmas post and blocked her number. The bank denied their loan application 8 months ago. They lost their house last spring. My mother still tells relatives I'm mentally unstable from the surgery. I still have the 18 staples worth of scars across my skull and a folder full of text messages I'll never delete.